This is my fight breakdown for Fabio Wardley versus Frazer Clarke 2. I think Frazer Clarke has to be able to raise his stamina up a lot more in this fight than he did in the last fight. I think the reason why he lost to Wardley, he put a lot of damage on him and he hurt him pretty bad. But he didn't wear his stamina down. It's the fact that Wardley took more damage and that Clarke was more tired at the end of the fight than Wardley was. That was a huge red flag. I mean, that was a huge red flag. Clarke, you should never, especially in this time in boxing these days, you should never have lost a fight because of your stamina or had a close fight or a draw or anything just because of how the stamina was in the fight. Your stamina should always be top tier. There's no reason why boxers these days stamina is a reason why these guys are catching L's and having close fights. But Wardley has to be able to step forward to this guy early, wear him down early. If Clarke's stamina is going to be that way, and he's the only person that can control his stamina, Wardley needs to wear him down early. Don't let this guy reign free and just go around and do whatever he wants. He needs to cut off the ring, jump on him early, and make Clarke punch himself out early, whatever he needs to do. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. Clarke is a very interesting fighter. They both have decent right hands, but at the same time, Clarke has a lot more experience. So that's why he's able to do certain things that was able to get to Wardley early on in the fight with the inside fighting and the clinching and being able to cut the ring off very well. Wardley was a little late to the party as far as his strategy, but he was able to wear him down. He was able to keep going and keep going. And he kind of, I don't want to say he broke Clarke, but he was almost able to break him down. And if Clarke's going to be in the fight like that, he has to either get a knockout early or he has to be able to pace himself over the course of rounds because he let a lot of rounds go by not really taking the fight to this guy. And it was really showing later on in the fight. I mean, he was extremely tired. And he got to throw a lot more combinations. He's throwing, I think Wardley outpunched him through a lot more combinations. He took more damage, but at the end of the day, he brought a lot more to the fight than actually what Clarke was doing at the end. And I think if Wardley could fight a whole fight like that from beginning to end, his stamina was questionable too. It was a very tough fight, but at the same time, it was a lot of times where he took rounds away or he took rounds off where he could have possibly stopped them. They could have stopped each other in the last fight. It was that type of fight. They could have stopped each other. But the stamina of these guys, whoever comes in with the best stamina this time around and who's more prepared, if I had to think about it from the outside looking in, my question would be, who learned more from this fight than they did the first fight? Like, who can learn more? Like, that's what my thing is. Who can learn more from this fight than actually the other fights? And that's all I'm thinking about. If he learned more in this fight, first fight Wardley did, which I think he did, because Clarke has been in a lot of battles. He's been, he has a wide amateur background. So I definitely feel like he's a guy that learned less because he already knows more. So Wardley, I think he's going to be a lot more dangerous just because of what he was doing in the last fight. In the last fight, he was really bringing it to Clarke, and he broke him down very well. By the time he realized what to do and what he could do, it was close to the end. And to be honest with you, Clarke skated out of there with a barely. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have easily gave that fight to Wardley just because of him consistently doing the same thing throughout the whole fight. And Clarke took off so many rounds. He started so early, but he took off so many rounds to the point where it was like, man, he's taking off a lot of rounds right now. I don't know if this guy's going to be as dangerous later on in the fight. And as you can see, he wasn't really dangerous at all. So Wardley being able to just have his way with Clarke at the end of the fight, that was a big red flag for me. Um, I think the fight possibly can go the distance. Man, I wanna let me see. I want to go with a decision in this fight for Fabio Wardley. I actually want to go. I picked Clarke last time, but man, that stamina was such a red flag, man. That stamina was horrible. That was like I was so disappointed in the stamina last time. And I don't know if it's going to be a better round this time, but I do know that Wardley is going to be able to learn a lot from the last fight, and that's going to put him in a better position this fight. So I'm going to go with Fabio Wardley decision in this fight. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.